So, hello, Libra, and those of you with strong Libran placements in your birth chart, welcome back to Nicole Myths. This is your 2022 forecast. I'm doing it month by month for you. Each of the timestamps will be in the description, so it's easy for you to go back and find each month as they come up during the year. I'm using my patch tarot as a milestone energy for each month. And then I'm using my Chakra Wisdom Tarot as some extra clarity or insight into the energies of it. All right. As we start off this year for January, we start with a special holy arcana that is specific to the Patch Tarot, and it is the light. The duality is reveal versus conceal. Comes out with the Ace of Swords, the Three of Swords, and the Eight of Wands. So because the light is a special card specific to this deck, I'm going to read some for you so that you understand the meaning of it. It says, the light represents the formless, shapeless, unknowable, and undefinable source from which the entire tree of life emerges. It is beyond comprehension and serves as a reminder that no matter what we think we know nothing at all. When drawing the light in a reading, it speaks to the revealing and illuminating of something that was hidden. It's a total illumination, a lifting of the veil in order to vividly clarify something previously murky or confusing. Further, this is the creative light and so describes that this illuminating power may encompass a new illuminating solution for you as well. The creative power is infinite, and is a reminder that spirit is always with you. That it comes out with the Ace of Swords, the Three of Swords, and the Eight of Wands. And I am a divine mirror type of person. When you think you know someone, because you've known them for a very long time, or if you think you know somebody because you've known them for 5 seconds and you think you've got them pegged. No matter what you think you know, understand you also know nothing at all, right? The light is an energy that encompasses being made consciously aware. When the first soul came into existence, it was consciously aware. Getting this kind of a card with the Ace of Swords, which is all about truth. You're being given a truth, possibly a heartbreaking truth with the Three of Swords. But it's because you're being guided by spirit to acknowledge something, to become consciously aware. Something you were not previously consciously aware of. Maybe it's the divine mirror of things. Whatever it is revealed to you in January, it's going to be upsetting, and you have to ask yourself if you're upset by the result, especially if you've invested a lot of time or energy into a person, situation, place. If you've invested a lot of time and energy, resources into something, and the truth being revealed hurts you about it, that you would feel like you don't even know it at all. How did your choices and your actions create the situation that you find yourself in? How did your beliefs get you here? How did your perceptions get you here? How did your stubbornness get you here? What choices were made that got you where you are? How can you take ownership of it? It's becoming consciously aware of your alignment, your energy, and what it created for you. Because if there's pain that you're experiencing or receiving from your outer experience, then there is unresolved pain in you that refuses to walk away from painful experiences, that you would keep reliving them. What has not grown about you in soul and perception? Where have they not integrated? Because the Eight of Wands, you're getting the messages. The universe is giving them to you. Your divine mirror, your experience is giving you the messages. Whether it's in conversations with other people who are acting as a voice for your higher self, a mirror for you to see in what is acceptable and what is not, what is truth and what is false. Or are you getting synchronicities? Are you getting signs? Are you taking the time to look them up? Because the universe is in fact communicating with you to help you heal. If you can imagine for a moment that you are the only person that exists, and everything and everyone else in your reality is simply there as a mirror for you to better help you understand yourself, what are you missing? What are you neglecting to become consciously aware of? Where have you stuck yourself? Because that would be the cause of the manifestation that created a painful truth to be revealed for you. The duality of reveal versus conceal, you can either acknowledge it or you can remain blind to it. You can open your eyes to the reality, or you can stay blind. You can choose to ignore. The choice is always up to you. Do you face the reality for what it is as an internal state of self, or do you blame the reality? Do you put the blame on other people or other circumstances instead of yourself? How did you choose the outcome, knowingly or unknowingly, that created where you are? That's January. For February, your milestone is the Chariot card. The duality is motion versus tension. It comes out with the Seven of Wands, the Five of Swords, and the Knight of Wands. Immediately, I felt like there was someone with very significant or strong Cancerian energy with the Chariot and the Seven of Wands coming out. There was just something about it that I feel like there is a feminine, possibly with strong Cancerian energy, moving or standing up for the self and moving, right? Which is what the Seven of Wands represents, standing up for the self, and the Chariot being a card of moving or travel or relocating. It may also be a very strong indicator for you to create movement in the realm of loving the self versus being at tension with the self, right? That Spirit, the card being a number of, in this particular deck, it's the 8th card in the deck. Usually the Chariot is the 7th card, which is numerically a number of divine intervention and divine miracle. But with the 8, it is about reoccurring or infinite loops, okay? And the abundance that can come when you recognize them, or the continual hamster on a wheel that comes along with not getting out of it, okay? At some point, especially if you're arguing with other people in February, with the Five of Swords, how have you insisted on being right rather than being at peace? How have you insisted on control, especially with communications, versus surrendering to the reality a feminine may in fact be leaving the reality because of fights with a controlling masculine energy who is impulsive and or reckless or cruel with the way they speak with the Knight of Wands. This this energy is about getting really real with the self, about how our own need to viscerally chime in or project back at people that we feel has hurt us in some way does not serve you. If you feel like someone has hurt you in some which way or disrespected you in some which way, to continue arguing with them and standing up for yourself in an argument that you would choose to be right or heard is not serving. It's talking about a spark being lit up under the ass to propel you forward into the defense of what you deserve as far as love goes. What do you deserve in regards to love? When people in general love you or don't, are their actions loving or are they not loving? Are your actions being loving or are they not loving? And is your definition of love the truth, capital T? Because love doesn't intentionally hurt other people with their words. That's not loving. Well, someone had to tell them. Yeah, but if you're saying it in a way that hurts them, that's not loving. Love is compassion. Love is mercy. Love is patience. It's filled with virtue. It's not angry or wrathful. Those are sins. To put it in a simple way of understanding for you. How are you choosing to communicate and with who? And what are you really standing up for? Being right or loving yourself? Because this is the duality in February. And something's got to move. Something or someone has to move, or the tension is going to continue to accelerate. Be aware of that for February. For March, your milestone is another holy arcana, and it is the way. The duality is pray versus trust. It comes out with the 8 of Cups, the Queen of Cups, and the 8 of Swords. The way says, the way can only be truly understood when experienced in relationship. No matter how we attempt to indicate a concept, what we are indicating cannot possibly encompass the true spirit of said concept. On the Tree of Life, this card connects with Ain, the eternal vacuum of spirit. Ain is the nothingness from which the concept of infinity emerges, describing that all things originate from and dissolve back into nothingness. This may seem like a blessing and a curse, but it is simply the way we came to be and the way we are going. The appearance of the way in a reading has one meaning that can be interpreted in various ways. The highest principle is that it is a card of complete trust and faith in that which is beyond our ability to comprehend. In this, we have to surrender to the flow that moves through us. We know the way. The upright key on the card suggests the act of prayer is the purest method to tap into the natural flow and open a channel with the divine. Through prayer, a space of silence is created, so the subtlest of notions from spirit may come through. We are all one with spirit, and we are going to get where we need to go. So no matter what was going on in January and February, regardless of what path you chose, whether you choose to ascend and elevate and love yourself or chose tension, the reality has shifted the way for you to help you understand. Even if that means you have to start again at nothing in some regards to your life, whether it is a financial nothing, a relationship nothing, a friendship nothing, a family nothing, whatever had to start over. Spirit started you back at square one. Spirit started you back at square one. Now, the big thing about pray versus trust in this regard, you can trust if someone's meant to be in your life, they'll come back. You can trust that, if this is meant to happen or that's meant to happen, it'll happen. Or you can consciously pray and connect to your divinity in a moment and say, this is what I want. Help me understand so that I can create it for myself, so I can have it come back into my life. Help me understand. Help me see. Bring me clarity. Pray for help. Pray for your highest good in the most effective and efficient way possible. Pray for the highest good of all. Can you pray in order to initiate change? Because that's what prayer is. We pray to initiate a change, and change in the outer starts with the inner. So can you pray for inner change? Versus just trusting it will happen. Because it will. It will always happen, and you can trust that. It will always happen. Spirit always knows the way and will always keep us on the path no matter how far we stray. It will always say, hey, you've gone too far, and knock you back to square one. Try a different way. Try a different way of being. Because the clarifying cards, the Eight of Cups, the Queen of Cups, and the Eight of Swords. Eight of Cups is about being unfulfilled emotionally. There's holes there. The Queen of Cups, you may seriously be lacking nurturance. Nurturance from the outer. How do you then nurture the self? The Queen of Cups is a scorpionic card. How do you rebirth? How do you transform? How do you transcend your old version into a new one that is more lovable and loving? How do you claim, because the Queen of Cups has this energy, how do you claim your role in loving other people? If you are meant to be loved by someone, how through your own actions can you take responsibility for loving them the way they deserve to be loved? The Queen of Cups, beyond all the queens, is exceptional. She is the ideal partner in soul. The element of the cups, she is the ideal counterpart of soul. That is where the most love is received, the most sacrifice is given, the most consideration. She is the epitome of nurturance for the heart. So if that is what you want, that's what you need to embody. And it has to start within yourself. How can you sacrifice old parts of yourself? Claim your duty to love yourself, to nurture yourself. And if there are other people in the reality that you have or want to receive that level of commitment from on a soul level, how then must you first commit to the healing of your own soul? Looking in the divine mirror with the Eight of Swords is literally a figure looking into a mirror, and even though she is not trapped by swords and blindfolded, that's what she sees. What excuses are you making to settle for being unfulfilled? And can you pray for the changes that would be required to take place in order for you to let this trapped, blind, unconscious mirror go? Whether it is your own mirror or the fact that you are receiving that mirror in your outer experience, which is kind of saying, hey, don't you deserve better than this? Don't you deserve better than this? You may have had a Queen of Cups reveal a mirror to you. Someone who is seriously psychic intuitive, the Queen of Cups. Try to help you reveal where you're trapped. How did you choose to stay blind? How did you choose to manifest and create more unfulfillment, more disappointment, more regrets? Think about this. In the Eight of Cups behind her, the forest is on fire. There's billowing smoke coming up from the background and flames in the trees. Having a hole inside the heart, being disconnected from the intuitive sensings, your divine communication, having a hole or disconnect there will set your whole world on fire and force you to leave it and start with nothing. This is the awareness that March brings for you. You have to look within yourself and grow. Spirit made sure you have to regrow, because the shore the Eight of Cups is standing on is barren. You have to try again to grow inside. Have to learn to love yourself. Learn the idea of, if I love myself and I love what these people in my reality provide, how can I love them then? Because if I love them, I can keep the way they love me. Think about that. How do you nurture yourself? You can't do it all alone. Even if you're living by yourself in the fucking woods, if you don't respect the nature around you, the nature around you will catch up with you. If you don't maintain the door to your home out in the woods, would a bear not break it down? If you continue to litter and shit up the environment, are healthy crops going to grow? Are your livestock going to thrive, or will they perish? If you don't maintain your outer experience, if you don't show love to your outer experience and nurture it, it won't nurture you back. Who in your reality is loving you that you need to focus on, truly loving you, nurturing you, because this is where the lessons lie. How are you stuck in your ways with the Eight of Swords? I can't change. I believe this, or I think that. I mean, we got to get real. How can you welcome in change versus just blindly moving forward? How can you claim the change? That's March. For April, your milestone cards are balance and the child. The duality is the justice of possibilities versus the corruption and distraction. Justice and possibilities versus corruption and distraction. Both of these cards deal in the realm of truth and higher thought. The Justice card shows a figure with the sword of truth behind her, holding the scales, weighing the soul versus the feather, the alpha and the omega. How do you leave this life with your soul as light as a feather, that you would ascend and rise to the next level, next realm, heaven, whatever you want to call it? How would you ascend to the next domain? Soul light as a feather, which means leaving this life with no regrets or no wrong, either righted or paid for. Wrongs create karmic debt. When we commit corrupted acts when we're distracted. Corrupted acts could be things we say out of fear. It could be self-doubt, actions taken or not taken because we doubt the self. Choices that we make or don't make because we're not confident enough or don't feel we're capable, or we lack the willpower to better understand. How do we get distracted with self-loathing and regret versus loving the self more and doing things on an unconditional basis versus a conditional one? How do we lose the expectations and judgments of other people and be open to the possibilities? What lies or excuses are we making? What are we denying? That's a corrupted distraction, denial, and excuses, blame. They're corrupted distractions. How do we bring justice to the possibilities instead? How do we look at the best case scenario and hold that in mind with our actions versus looking at the worst case scenario and taking actions thinking about the worst case scenario? When you take actions with the worst case scenario in mind, you're acting out of fear, anxiety, worry, doubt, all of the above, and creating more of the same. Because what you think about, if that's what you're picturing, what you think about, you bring about. It's no different if you were picturing the highest good outcome, your dream come true, and taking actions and trust and faith that that's possible. What you think about, you bring about. Corrupted distractions are the ego and pride, the inability to apologize or own your shit, own your mistakes. Who have you wronged in moments of corruption and distraction? I use the example in another zodiac reading. It's like cheating on your partner or being unfaithful. Doesn't matter to what degree. If your partner would have been upset by the interactions because it's not right, then it's not right. If your partner would be upset, what were you doing it for? Why would you do something that would hurt your partner if they found out? Well, I didn't have sex with them. I just made out with them. Like, you cheated, honey. Well, I never was physical with them. I just bitched about you a lot and confided in them emotionally, and they were my support. Your partner wouldn't appreciate it. If there was a corrupt act while you were distracted, maybe because you had a fear of abandonment, or a fear that you weren't good enough, or a fear that someone was going to leave you anyway, or a fear it wasn't going to work out, or fear of the future, whatever the fuck it was. If you committed a corrupt act, karma gets paid for those things. It weighs heavy on the soul. And so there's either two ways to rectify it. You can admit it and own the mistake and tell the truth. The whole truth, so help you God. Despite any possible outcome, and have faith that it'll work out because the truth sets you free. Or you can carry the weight and pay for it. The only way to get out of paying for a karmic weight is to face the scales of judgment at the end of your life and be reborn. That you would have another chance to right your wrong and choose better. The Princess of Cups in the reverse with the Ten of Wands and the Queen of Wands, who comes out with the Magician and the Chariot. Someone is like, sorry, not sorry. And someone is definitely refusing to apologize. Princess of Cups in reverse. Someone is refusing to apologize. And so the response from the other party is, sorry, not sorry. Because whether you deny the truth or not, the soul knows. Just because another party doesn't have proof that a corruption or distraction was committed, or if they do, if you can't admit to it and own it and not make the same mistake twice, the other party's soul is going to feel it. Sorry, not sorry. I'm not reopening that door. It's too much of a burden. Ten of Wands. You're carrying too much spiritual weight. Wands is the suit of spirit. 10 Wands is burdensome. Unless you align with a like-burdened soul and create the payment or suffering for your injustices, any soul who has freed itself from its own karmic weights already will not align with a heavy soul. Sorry, not sorry. There's something about you that's off-putting. There's something about you I don't want to connect to. It's that intuitive nudge that says, I don't know, there's something about this person. I can't allow them into my space. It's because they're too heavy. And the light soul, on some level, knows that it would weigh them down. The Queen of Fire, the Queen of Wands, the Queen of Spirit, the desire to receive the best, the weightless soul, will always, like magic, choose to move forward, whether it's you or someone else. The weightless soul who does not want to be burdened with the burdens of others, the spiritual weight or corruption of others, will always, like magic, move forward. Justice is justice, and fair is fair. And you can't hide anything from your soul or anybody else's. That's April. In May, we get the Death card as your milestone. The duality is transition versus resistance. It comes out with the Four of Swords in the reverse, the Two of Swords, and the Chariot. I told you, if you didn't choose it yourself earlier in the year, the tensions were going to go through the roof, the tension that you're having with your reality. So for those of you who are dealing with that choice in May, you are not going to catch a break. Four of Swords in the reverse, you are not going to catch a break until you see where you are blind and sticking yourself between a rock and a hard place with the Two of Swords. You got to move. You have to create motion within the self. You can't stay stuck. Spirit is adamantly putting its foot down and your feet to the fire to change. May be particularly fucking rough for some Libras or some Libran placements. The rest of you who have chosen this motion, you might be in complete go, go, go mode and not know exactly what choice you're making in advance, and it's going to be very much in the moment. Very much going with the flow. Not seeing the outcome, not seeing how things are all coming together and working out step by step, but knowing that you're being propelled forward. All you know is whether or not a choice resonates with you. Because the Two of Swords, I always remind people, if it's not a fuck yeah, if it's not an easy decision, it's a fuck no, not now. If you have to make excuses to do something, you're out of alignment. If you need reasons to do something, you're out of alignment. If you're forcing yourself to do something, you're out of alignment. It should come easy. If it's not a fuck yeah, it's a fuck no. If you're stuck in a fuck no scenario, like, I don't know, you hate your job or you hate your reality, well, then how do you turn it into a fuck yeah scenario? How do you shift it? How do you create better? What do you focus on that you can turn your fuck no into a fuck yeah? Maybe you hate your job the way you do because it takes up a lot of your time, but it pays you really well. But the reason why it sucks is because you have no actual goal. And if you had a goal that you were working towards, that your job would provide you the means to achieve, well, then your job's not such a fuck no, is it? Then it's a fuck yeah, I got a great paying job. It provides the means to attain my goal, right? How do you change fuck no to fuck yeah? Or accept fuck no for what it is because the timing's off or the alignment's off to make that particular choice in that moment. It could be as simple as answering a text message. Yeah, you saw someone text you. Does that mean you have to answer? If it's not a fuck yeah, let me open it up right now, see what they said, then the answer is no, not now. If you want to reach out to someone, but you're feeling something holds you back, like, I don't know if I should, or da-da-da-da-da, then the answer is no, it's not now. If it's not a fuck yeah, it's a fuck no. Spirit might be moving so fast with you that you don't get a chance to think. It might be teaching you how to go on a whim, yes or no. And that's why everything is happening so quickly. Lots of movement going on. This Chariot card keeps coming up. Chariot is a Cancerian card. It is about dealing with the Cancer energy in your chart. If you have wounding in your house of Cancer in your birth chart, like Chiron or Lilith, Kronos, if you have some seriously wounded aspects to overcome and master inside your chart, this is why this Cancerian Chariot card keeps popping up on you. What house does it rule? Is it your house of possessions? Are you struggling with people and things in your reality that you feel are yours? Family that is yours, that doesn't feel like you are loving it the way you want or are able to love it the way you want? Are you being financially drained? Are you taking losses? Because it's tapping on Chiron and Cancer in the second house as an example. Think about this. The universe is in go, go, go mode. It is forcing you to transform in May, one way or the other. Either to give you no fucking breaks and acknowledge where you are stuck and force you forward, or to get you in the habit of making on a whim, yep, I can do that, no, I can't decisions, and being okay with that in order to move you forward. That it is not giving you a chance to breathe. Expect things to be rapidly busy in May. In June, your milestone card is the Empress, and it flew out in the reverse. It comes out with Justice, Libra's card, the Five of Wands, and the Hanged Woman, Piscean energy. You may, especially if you have strong Piscean placements, Libra, if you have a Pisces moon, Pisces north node, Pisces Venus, a dignified Neptune in Pisces, right? You may actually be feeling the effects of Jupiter leaving Pisces, because I believe that Jupiter leaves Pisces in May and enters Aries, okay? Something was neglected. The duality of the Empress is nurture versus neglect. If you don't mind your marbles, you lose them. Wherever your Venus is in your chart, whether it's in Libra or Pisces or otherwise, it doesn't matter what sign it's in. But there may be someone your heart is connected to within that sign that was neglected. Like if your Venus is in Leo, there may be a Leo in your life that you care a whole lot about that is being neglected. They're lacking the nurture of a solid or consistent figure, the Empress. How have you How has your imbalance created your world upside down kind of thing when it comes to them? The disconnect from soul perspective. The Hanged Woman is all about seeing things from the soul's perspective, not the egoic mind, the human perception of the world, but the soul's perspective, the highest heart. Because there's conflict, Five of Wands, between what we think is fair, what we think is just, and the truth of soul. There's a conflict between the egoic mind, the human mind, but what we think is right or necessary, and what the soul knows is right and necessary. There's a conflict there. How have you been prioritizing something to the neglect of something that truly needs to be a priority? What is slipping through the cracks? How many other people's burdens are you taking on? That you're not focusing on the one that matters. . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . the Empress, you might seriously be lacking a divine feminine counterpart. A creative heart space who's truly in touch with the world. Not just the world at large, but your world. A key figure who allows you to receive the highest creation, the highest experience for you and all that you love. Empress energy. You're lacking the nurturer. How is your human thinking arguing with your soul? I would suggest practicing gratitude. The fastest way to receive what you need, to nurture the self instead of neglect the self, to nurture your reality instead of neglect your reality, to nurture the people in your life versus neglect the people in your life. The fastest way to resolve that is by saying thank you, gratitude, being appreciative of those who would help you and assist you, whether you think it's fair or not. Five of Wands is an internal conflict. It's a you problem. What you think is right versus what your soul feels is right. Reconnect with the soul and gratitude and appreciation in June. In July, we get the Hermit card. The duality is meditation versus isolation. Comes out with the 10 of Wands, the 8 of Cups, and the 4 of Coins. So, Libra, are you around people that help you stay center, help you feel at peace within yourself? Or are you opting for isolation? Because we got that 10 of Wands back, we got the 8 of Cups back. People who are in alignment with your center will always recognize the fact that your soul is burdened and that there is some type of unfulfillment going on, that you're trying to maintain control. 4 of Coins, holding on to your reality, holding on to what you believe is real. Controlling your reality. The issue is you're controlling your reality with a potential sense of unfulfillment or soul burden. There's something you're not happy with. Are you allowing high-aligned souls that wish to help you elevate your own energy? Are you aligning with those souls and receiving their aid in order to rise? Or are you isolating yourself, thinking you can do it all on your own? Trying to control things. Are you isolating yourself from positive people because you've lost the ability to be center and discern who is good for you and who is not serving you? Who is serving your happiness? Who is nurturing your reality? Who is nurturing your inner being? Who is nurturing your soul and who is not? Have you lost the ability to discern that? I'm asking these questions because the shadow is isolation. Are you not answering your phone for anyone? Have you detached from people that care about you and consider you? Are you too busy to make time for them? Especially if they've been reaching out to you. Are you too mentally exhausted to even talk to them for 5 minutes and connect with positive energy? Meditation versus isolation. You got to recenter and recognize the Hermit card, how your own snakes are wrapped around your egg of creation, that they are keeping it from becoming a reality, your highest good, your demons. Anytime I see snakes now, I remember that song, Crushing Snakes by Crowder. How are you going to conquer your own demons and achieve Christ consciousness within the self? Being present for those that follow you and support you. Fighting the good fight. And slaying control, that the reality would try and control you or overwhelm you. How can you reconnect energies that relieve the tension, that give you great advice, great support? Don't be too busy for those people in July. Listen to what they have to say. They're serving your highest good. To resist the highest good creates more of that unfulfilled, oppressive, burdensome, heavy soul energy. Do not resist the love that is coming in for you by isolating yourself. That's July. In August, the milestone is the Holy Arcana, the Truth. It flew out in the reverse. And I shit you not, because I've shuffled this deck. The Hanged Woman, the Five of Wands, and the Justice card came back out. All three. You just had them in a previous month. Justice, Five of Wands, and the Hanged Woman. Spirit is not cutting corners with you. You will not pass go. You will not collect $200 until you get your soul out of jail. This heaviness. The truth, because the duality of truth is silence versus speak. Speak being the light. I'm going to read this for you. Because the truth, remaining silent, not acknowledging the fact that your soul is speaking to you, that you are in a divine mirror, not acknowledging your soul is going to create major conflicts internally where you feel like you don't deserve things that you're dealing with. You don't deserve to feel this way. You don't deserve blah, blah, blah. If you're not good to you, you're good to no one. So we're going to rehash the truth, capital T. Because we went over it previously in the year about justice and possibilities versus corruption and distraction. We went over this. The truth represents the fundamental truth, which unifies and connects all things in creation, the infinity of possibilities from which all manifestations, even the light, emerges. This is simply the concept of infinity. However, the concept of infinity only exists in the presence of the awareness of it. The relationship between consciousness and infinity is what allows for contemplation of the ultimate and supreme truth above all truths. The appearance of the truth in a reading is a call to bring awareness to what is true, and even to bring a voice to this truth, at the very least, that you may know it to be true yourself. The key, speak, indicates that in order for the truth to be heard, it must be spoken and shared. It is in the resonance of the truth shared with others that we receive the power of the word. We know the truth when we hear it, and we know the truth when we speak it. Because when we speak it, it doesn't sound like a lie to the self. It's literally 4:44 right now as I'm recording this. Like, your archangels, you got to understand. You've got guardian angels. Your archangels, you can call them in for support whenever you need them. They come when you call. Call on Archangel Michael to protect you even from yourself. Call on Archangel Raphael to heal your heart space so that you can love yourself. Call on Archangel Gabriel to give you the words that you need to speak no matter how difficult it is to speak them. Call on Archangel Chamuel to bring harmony back to the dynamics and relationships that you have with other people, especially if they've been damaged. Call in Archangel Jophiel to help you see the beauty in everything and to give you patience, especially with yourself. Call in Archangel Ariel to give you strength and courage to do what needs to be done in your highest good and the highest good of all. Call in Archangel Uriel to shine light in your shadows where you have refused to see. Call in Archangel Zadkiel so that you can take the righteous path of your soul over the human's mind about what is right and wrong. Call in Archangel Azrael in this time of transition and to bring you comfort as you shed the old you and emerge the new one. Call in your angels. Call in Archangel Raziel to work his magic and miracle for you. That you need a miracle. Call in Archangel Raguel to bring justice to the situation. That it would return to karmic balance and that your soul may be light as a feather again. Call in your angels. Call in Archangel Haniel to help you flow with grace and surrender to the highest good of yourself and all. Call in Archangel Metatron to give you the signs and the synchronicities and the messages that you need. Archangel Sandalphon to help you with things as far as song, that you would receive the messages that you need to hear in song, to recognize whatever it is you need to recognize, that your prayers would be answered, that Archangel Sandalphon would take your prayers to Source Creator, your highest self, and have them answered for you. Call in your angels. The truth needs to be spoken. You got to get real with yourself because your soul is demanding justice. Do you feel undeserving or unworthy to receive love? Do you feel like you owe somebody who loves you because you've learned that love is conditional instead of just simply receiving the love? Are you afraid to love others because your love is conditional and you're afraid they won't pay you back? What is it? Let's be honest and speak the truth. because that is the all-encompassing energy for August. Your soul will not lose. It can't. It wasn't designed that way. That's August. In September, your milestone is the Star card. The duality is faith versus despair. Comes out with the Two of Swords, the Hermit, and the Two of Cups. 2 twos on either side of the Hermit. Now, the Hermit is the individual, right, that is following the light. It's no different than following the white wolf. The Hermit is the individual who is following the light. Mind you, when you used to converse with your shadow self would give you options on which way you're going to choose to go. What do you want to do? Do you want to do this? Do you want to do that? You can go this way. You can go that way. What's your choice? The wolf of love and light guides you instead. You don't get to choose the direction. Love and light, spirit, chooses the direction, and you surrender and follow. No matter what the path looks like, because the beautiful love and light wolf might have to take you through a dark woods in order to get to the beautiful meadows on the other side. The only way to the beautiful meadow is through the dark woods. Do you not trust the love and light wolf within yourself that you would start freaking out and talking to the dark wolf who says, I want to choose something else. I don't want to go that way. And the dark shadow wolf said, yes, feed me first. And I'll tell you what your options are and you can choose. You and your little ego mind. This is faith versus despair. Can you have faith in the unfolding of the path even if you can't see where it's taking you or know what to expect? Even if there may be challenges, can you trust the unfoldment of the path that the wolf of white light and love is taking you towards? Can you trust the way Spirit was guiding you? That there must be something beautiful on the other side if you're going to go through this challenge. Because the Two of Swords, you can't necessarily see the moves before you're making them. You're not choosing the steps before you take them. You might want to take certain steps and can't take them. But you're following your light. Your Two of Cups. Union in the self, reflected in the outer. That you would be in the presence of an individual who is very light like yourself and also just following their inner white wolf. It's okay because the white wolves all lead to the same beautiful destination. The lightness of soul, light as a feather, leads through the gates of heaven. Your heaven on earth. Your heaven beyond this life. The white wolf, no matter whose white wolf it is, no matter what path they're taking, all the white wolves take you to the same place. That's nirvana, heaven, paradise. Valhalla, whatever you believe in. They allow you the experience of it in this life, your heaven on earth. Have some faith. Don't freak out and go back and call on your shadow to help you out just because you don't know what's going on. Oh my God, I haven't talked to them in 3 days. Oh my God. Are they talking to someone else? What if they don't like me anymore? Maybe I should text them. If you need an excuse, if you're doubting yourself and you take an action, you just fed your shadow wolf. Let it go. Be like, you know what? They haven't heard from me in 3 days either. And I'm okay. I hope they know I'm okay and that they're not taking it personal. You know what? Let me reach out to them. Let them know that I'm thinking of them and hope they're doing all right. That you've been pretty busy and obviously they've been pretty busy too. That you're just thinking of them and you know what? We'll catch up soon. Whenever time allows. Just wanted to let them know that you're okay and we're thinking of them. Keep it simple. Trust the path. Don't take shit personal. Don't revert back to your shadow. Don't fall into despair. Don't freak out. Just because you don't know where you're going. Don't try and control where you're going or control the other person or get them to tell you where you're going. There's no need. Just let it be. Just keep following your white wolf. Keep heeding your healing. Continue in the light of your moon and put your focus there. When in doubt, put the focus on the light of your moon sign in the house it's in. When in doubt, do that. Everything else will work out. I promise you. Faith. That's September. In October, we have the Return of the Death card as your milestone. Transition versus resistance. Coming out with the 8 of Wands, the 2 of Wands, and the Knight of Wands. Lots of spirit. Wands is the suit of spirit. It's the suit of fire. Spirit this month. God knows you've had a challenging year. To be fair, it's all self-created. The challenges are created by our own choices and beliefs and perceptions. But you've had a challenging year, and so Spirit is like, okay. If they're having difficulty listening to their intuition, maybe the element of water is not their strong suit in their chart, right? They have a hard time. 8 of Wands, Spirit is giving you plenty of synchronicities and divine inspirations, epiphanies, and or revelations. It's trying to help you see the best case scenario with the 2 of Wands. It's trying to help you see the best case scenario, a divine scenario, a healed scenario, and inspiring you with the Knight of Wands. One step at a time, Libra. And you can resist the signs and synchronicities. You can ignore the revelations or epiphanies. You can deny the highest good, beautiful vision in your mind. And you could be reckless and careless instead with these cards. Be obstinate or defiant and resist the beauty that Spirit is showing you is possible. Especially if you are being met with resistance in the outer. Maybe you were vulnerable last month. Maybe you did reach out to the right person. Maybe you were met with resistance. And Spirit is showing you all of these wonderful possibilities, though you're daydreaming about what it could have been, what it could be, what you wanted it to be. You've got to believe that that is still possible despite the outer experience. You can't be in this mindset of, I'll believe it when I see it. You got to believe it to see it. You can't believe it is real when it shows up in front of you. You got to believe that it's real inside your mind and that you can create it because you believe in it. And take whatever steps are necessary to create your highest good vision, no matter how many steps that takes. If that's what you want, that's what you long for in your reality, you got to be willing to take the first step. You've got to be willing to go deep. Scorpionic energy, you've got to be willing to go deep into the subconscious mind and light fires in that darkness there so that you can see. What about your belief systems? What about your perceptions need to go? Where's your demons down there that need to kick rocks? One by one, start kicking them out. Take the steps in your reality to match the inner work you're doing. Because thoughts and hopes and dreams are wonderful, but they don't mean shit if you don't act towards them. Change requires actions. The other beautiful aspect to the suit of wands and fire. It's about actions. Your actions matter in October. In November, Libra, I'm not going to lie, my heart sank a little bit when these cards flew out. Your milestones, the devil, desire versus addiction. Came out with a strength card in reverse, the Two of Wands in reverse, and the Hierophant with the moon. If you didn't think that you were capable of taking each step, it's too hard, it's impossible. If those were the thoughts inside your head, you've fallen into the duality of addiction versus going after what you desire. You've let your shadow ego take the wheel. Let your strength and willpower go. Succumb to weakness. Let go of the highest good vision, Two of Wands in the reverse. It's impossible. Feeling rejected. And marrying your shadow, marrying the moon with the Hierophant, the moon card. You've married your shadow. Committed to the shadow. Libra. These cards don't tell you things in advance unless you have the power to change. Unless you choose to change it, you have the power to change it. You have to understand how capable you are. There are sacral chakra cards here. You have to believe that you are capable of creating what you desire. Sacral chakra wounds need to heal. You have to be able to look at your highest good vision and know that it's possible and that you are capable of creating it. You cannot succumb to your wounding and revert back into your shadow. This is defeated energy. What do you really want? And why do you believe that what you want is impossible in a world of infinite possibilities? Spirit, God, whatever you want to call it, your angels have never abandoned you. You have only ever abandoned yourself. This is a complete give into temptation unless you choose otherwise. November is a straight up fall on your face month. Wrong fucking path chosen. Straight up. There's the hard way and the easy way. And the easy way is the light. It seems like the hard way, but it's not. The hard way is the shadow. This is the hard way, but it feels easier in the moment to give up than fight for what you believe in and what you desire to have in soul. It is a harder road. It might be easy to give up, but it is a hard road. I hope to God, I do, I hope to God you hear this message and you change your mind about the path you're going in November. Fight for what you really want, taking a step at a time to improve yourself, do the inner work, manifest what you want, know that you're worthy, know that the person you're bringing to the table within yourself is beautiful and deserves what you see in your mind as your highest good vision. Do not give up on yourself. Do not quit. Do not revert back to your self-loathing, your self-doubt, your self-punishment, your self-abandonment. Stop. Do not go back to befriending the devil. Don't do it. Spare yourself. Spare yourself the difficult, hard, painful road in November. Choose that. For the end of the year in December, your milestone is the sun, whose duality is illumination versus narcissism. We have the Princess of Cups in the reverse, the Fool, and the Queen of Swords. This duality, especially if you witness someone narcissistic growing up, maybe your parents held the fact that they paid for the roof you're living under over your head. Maybe you dealt with people who said, well, you know, I'm your mother, I'm your father, so I will be respected even though they were not respect-worthy. I will be respected and demand respect. I will be heard. Maybe you dealt with narcissistic people who took love and took respect and took gratitude and took all of those things for granted and were still nasty. People who took and took and took and never reciprocated. Maybe you were around those people. Maybe you had relationships with a narcissist, someone who was abusive. Maybe you used to be married to one. If you were wounded by a narcissist, this is the culmination of the year. If you were wounded by a narcissist, what Spirit has been trying to get at all year is for you to recognize how you yourself have become the narcissist. Because you didn't heal the wounds the narcissist inflicted. You've taken on their attributes. Think about that. The Princess of Cups in the reverse. How hard is it for you to say sorry? I'm going to ask straight up, how hard is it for you to say sorry because you owe an apology? And might be seriously resisting one, because if you committed a wrong and won't give it, that is a narcissistic behavior. Narcissists commit wrongs and refuse to acknowledge them or apologize to the victims of their behavior. Do you need to apologize to a partner? Do you need to apologize to a friend? Do you need to apologize to your children? Who do you owe an apology to? You've got to take a leap of faith with the Fool card. You've got to take a leap of faith that your heart wants the truth to come out, that it wants the apology to come out. The Queen of Swords is the truth inside the heart. The truth inside the soul wants to be acknowledged. How do you hurt people? By rejecting their love? That the love they're giving you is not good enough for you to receive. I don't care what the reason is. Because a narcissist refuses the love that people give them. They refuse it. How have you become the very narcissist that you witnessed that hurt you? That you became the narcissist and hurt other people with your pain. Address the internal battle that you have with being good enough and worthy enough to receive and give equally to those who are worthy of receiving. People that give their best to you and offer their best to you deserve your best and to be offered your best consistently. These are not fair weather souls. This is soul family. How did your love and presence become conditional to unconditionally loving people? People who loved you despite yourself, despite the rejection of their love consistently. We have to illuminate the best parts of you, the innocence of you before you were damaged by these narcissists. We have to resurrect and bring back the you before you were damaged by that partner, damaged by that spouse, damaged by that parent, damaged by whoever. We have to bring back the part of you, the empath that was attracted to the narcissist to begin with. Because the beautiful light of your empathic self was what the narcissistic shadow of the reality went to war with, to dim and destroy. The world needs empathic, compassionate, considerate, unconditionally loving souls in it. The world needs grateful souls, beautiful souls, caring souls, appreciative souls, grateful that someone who loves you would just simply spend time with you instead of thinking about all the things they do or don't do for you. that you would just simply appreciate the fact that you are in their presence. That's who you used to be. You would just appreciate when you were in the presence of your narcissist. You would appreciate the fact that your narcissist was in a good mood and treating you kind. It didn't matter what they did or didn't do for you. They were just there. You have to bring that version of yourself back and give it to other empaths, to other beautiful souls. You have to return to the beauty of yourself and surround yourself with beautiful people, because you know what a narcissist looks like. You witness them, and they're terrible. They're terrible to be around. And you have witnessed the narcissist in yourself that you have had a trying year hating, probably often, too often, your reality. Feeling alone, feeling the doubt, feeling unlovable, feeling not good enough, feeling stressed out, feeling overwhelmed. This has been the whole fucking year. You've had a terrible time with yourself because you need to recognize the narcissist behaviors that you took on from the pain of the narcissist that you took personal. Your narcissist didn't feel worthy. Your narcissist didn't feel good enough. Your narcissist hated themselves. Your narcissist did all of the things, was ungrateful. Your narcissist did all the things that you were battling within yourself this year. If 2023 is going to get any better, then you owe yourself an apology because you became the very thing you fucking hated. Then you owe yourself an apology because you became the very character that you never in a million years would have ever wanted to be. Your energy became abusive to the unconditionally loving souls in your life. Your energy became neglectful of the people who needed to be nurtured in your life. Friends, family, partners, children, or otherwise. You abandoned your beautiful self, and Spirit has been trying to help you see it all year. You were more beautiful then. And you were so hurt being that person, you vowed never to be that again. Never to be the hurt empath. Well, you didn't have to become a narcissist to do that. You just needed to stop dealing with narcissists. You didn't have to become the abuser to stop being abused. You just had to stop surrounding yourself with abusive people. This is the big lesson for 2022. If you watch this entire video in its wholeness in January, you can absolutely recognize this right now and change your entire year. Go watch your rising sign. Go watch the sign that holds your Jupiter placement. Because if this rung a bell and it struck a chord, and you can choose right now to go back to who you were, your beautiful self, before you were fucking damaged. If you can recognize it right now, that you deserve better than being abused, and you deserve better than being abusive. That the people you love the most, your soul family, your children, deserve better. The love of your life deserves better. Whoever they are, whether you know them yet or not, they deserve better than an abuser. If you can hear this and snap back into yourself, your beautiful self, and give it to the right people, go watch your rising sign and go watch your Jupiter placement. It will help you create better, understanding each of those months, especially your rising sign. It will help you month by month on how to stay in your rise energy, because you've already definitively decided that you're leaving your shadow shit behind right now. The choice is powerful. Having a choice, our free will choice, is the most powerful gift that Spirit gave us, and we can choose right now to say, fuck having that year. Fuck having that year just to learn that I'm being a narcissist and don't realize it because I'm projecting pain out that I took personal from a narcissist. Fuck that. Fuck that year. I want a better one. Focus on your rise. Month by month, take it one step at a time inside your rise. That's your ascending energy. So I hope the foresight helps. I hope the insight each month as we go through the year and you recall these things helps. And I hope the hindsight is 2020. I hope the hindsight's 2020. More than anything right now, I hope the foresight is 2020. I hope the foresight gives you crystal fucking clear vision inside the self. With that said, this is Grace Nicole Myths signing off. My love and support is with you always. I am always here. You need to book a personal reading with me. Anything that you need, I'm here and present with love for you. Remember, love each other. Love the beautiful souls in your life. And most importantly, love yourself and who you are. Love the version of yourself that is beautiful and light. Till next time, guys, take care.